Never ever use these 5 products on your face after 50. Unless you want to look so different, your own family does a double take. I've spent 30 years doing makeup, first in Seoul, then backstage at fashion weeks, where the lighting forgives absolutely nothing. Most women over 50 aren't aging badly. Their products are aging them. The wrong foundation sits in every fine line by lunchtime. The wrong concealer cracks the moment you smile. And the 5th product? It's the one women defend the hardest. So the transformation is done. She's sitting in my makeup chair right now, a beautiful woman in her late 50s. And before I reveal the final look, let me show you exactly which products I use and how I use them. And then I'll send her off to the party where nobody is going to recognize her. Stay until the end, because when you see her face, you'll understand why I've been this stubborn about these rules for 30 years. First, this Bobbi Brown primer. Most women over 50 skip primer altogether and wonder why their makeup starts separating by noon. I see it constantly, and I understand why. Primer feels like an extra step, an extra product, an extra 30 seconds you don't have in the morning. But here's what happens without it. When foundation goes on bare skin after 50, your skin drinks it. Your skin simply doesn't hold moisture the way it did at 30, so it pulls the water right out of your foundation. And by lunchtime, the pigment is separating around your nose and gathering in the creases on your cheeks, looking patchy and dull. I've watched it happen under the runway lights in Seoul more times than I can count. Thanks to the hyaluronic acid and vitamin C in this formula, it helps plump, hydrate, and brighten the skin before makeup even goes on. It's really a rich moisturizer and primer in one jar. The hyaluronic acid pulls water into the skin so the fine lines look softer, the vitamin C wakes up that dullness, and the whole thing gives foundation something to actually hold on to instead of slide around on. I warm a small amount between my fingers, press it into the skin, especially around the smile lines and under the eyes, and give it 2 full minutes to sink in before anything else touches the face. Skin first, makeup second, always in that order after 50. Now, a skipped primer only makes you look tired by noon. This next mistake is worse because you're paying good money to do it to yourself. The concealer, and this is where I have to be blunt with you. Thick concealers will age you real quick. I know the instinct makes sense. You see darkness under your eyes, so you reach for the densest, most full coverage stick on the shelf and pack it on. For about 20 minutes, it looks fine. Then you smile at someone and the whole thing cracks, and by mid-afternoon, it's sitting cakey and gray in every fine line under your eyes, tracing a map of the exact texture you were trying to hide. The under eye is the thinnest, most delicate skin on the entire face. A heavy concealer there is a wool blanket on tissue paper. The High Glam Concealer by Natasha Denona brightens under the eyes without creasing or looking dry. The formula is creamy and hydrating, so it doesn't cling to fine lines or emphasize texture. It melts into the skin instead of sitting on top of it. The trick is the amount. 1 small dot on the inner corner where the darkness is deepest, tapped out gently with your ring finger, and stop. Don't carry it all the way to the outer corner where the laugh lines live. After 50, the goal under the eyes is brightening, not erasing. When you try to erase, you end up emphasizing. And that same instinct, that more is better instinct, is exactly what's ruining the next step for millions of women every single morning. Mascara. Heavy mascaras drag the eyes down. Walk down the mascara aisle at any drugstore and everything screams volume, thick, dramatic, and on a 25-year-old with a full lash line, sure. But mature lashes are finer and sparser, and those thick, waxy formulas clump onto them and physically weigh them down. A downward eye reads tired, no matter how much concealer sits underneath it. Those dense formulas also transfer onto the upper lid and flake into the under eye by evening, giving you shadows you didn't wake up with. The best one is the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara because it lengthens the lashes and opens up the eyes. The slim comb wand separates and extends each individual lash instead of gluing them together into clumps, and lengthened lashes lift the whole eye upward. That's the entire game after 50. Open the eye. 2 light coats on the top lashes, wiggle the wand at the root, and skip the bottom lashes, or do 1 whisper of a coat at most. Heavy bottom lashes drag the eye down and shadow the very darkness you just spent all that concealer brightening. Quick pause. If any of this is sounding like your bathroom mirror at 3 in the afternoon, hit subscribe. I break down makeup for mature skin every single week, and I don't sugarcoat it. Now, the lips, and this one stings a little because the lipsticks doing the most damage are the ones marketed straight at us. After 40, lipstick bleeds into lines. The liquid mattes, the transfer-proof formulas, the 16-hour lipsticks make it so much worse because they dry down like paint. They settle into every vertical lip line, they make the lips look thinner and flatter, and the color feathers out into the little lines around the mouth. You've seen that fuzzy edge where the lipstick has wandered off the lip. Nothing ages a face faster from across a dinner table. The Laura Geller Jelly Balm is deeply hydrating and smooths everything out. It gives a soft wash of color with a juicy, cushiony finish that stays exactly where you put it. If you want more definition, trace the edge lightly with a lip liner in your natural lip shade first, then the balm on top. Hydrated lips look fuller, and fuller lips read younger. And finally, the foundation. The fifth product, the one I told you women defend the hardest, and the step that makes or breaks the entire look. I understand the loyalty women have to their foundation. You found your shade 15 years ago, it's your face in a bottle, and changing it feels like changing your name. But traditional full coverage foundations were built for younger skin, and on mature skin they do three things. They oxidize, so the shade you matched at the bathroom mirror in the morning has turned orange by 2 o'clock, and that orange cast against silver hair is brutal. They settle because heavy pigment sinks into fine lines and traces every crease around your eyes and mouth in beige, and they flatten, covering the natural life of your skin until you're left with that mask-like finish. The Luxe is specifically developed for mature skin. It blurs fine lines, smooths texture, looks natural, not heavy, doesn't settle into wrinkles, never oxidizes no matter how long you wear it. The color-changing part is not a gimmick. The formula goes on with whitish pigment capsules that adapt to your exact skin tone as you blend, so it becomes your shade instead of approximating it. Morning to evening, the color you started with is the color you end with. The finish is what I call your skin, but better. It works with mature skin instead of fighting it. It's the #1 best-selling foundation on Amazon right now. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for anyone who said they couldn't find it. Sometimes there's a coupon available, so hopefully you'll get lucky. One quick word on application, because it matters. One pump, warmed between the fingers or on a damp sponge, pressed into the skin from the center of the face outward. Press, don't drag. Thin layers, and where you need more coverage, tap a second thin layer only there. Foundation after 50 should look like skin at a conversation distance because that's where your family and friends actually see you. Now, the moment I promised you, let me turn her chair around toward the mirror. The skin looks fresh and dewy, the eyes are open and bright, the lips are soft and full. Her husband is picking her up in 20 minutes, and I'd put money on a double take at the door. That's what a primer that plumps. A concealer that brightens without creasing, a mascara that lifts, a lip that stays put, and a foundation that becomes your skin can do in under 20 minutes. But products are only half the story. The way most women over 50 apply blush quietly undoes everything you just watched, and I show you exactly where it belongs in the video on your screen right now.